All right, as you can see, I got camp all set up here. I'm trying a few things a little different with the stove. Just got some like those pre-made logs that are supposed to burn longer. So maybe that's something that might help with the stove. Seems to burn out pretty quick, so I'll get a bunch of coals in there and then I'll put like half of one of those pre-made logs on. I think that would work probably best. So now that I got all camp set up, I'm gonna spend some time getting my gear together, because there's a few things that I need to add to the pack and eliminate from the pack. You know, just little things. And then I'm gonna shoot. This is something I usually always do the night before, is I kind of get everything ready for when I go out in the morning. It's always prepped the night before. I always keep this knife in my pocket as a lucky knife. Always. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a little superstitious. Number 2. Number 1. 3 for big game, 2 for small game. You never know. Right now it's open from December 1st to December 10th for grouse. So that would be nice. I feel pretty good about this. It's game on tomorrow. I don't like breaking this one out. I like saving this for the backcountry. This is the Goal Zero Flip 36. I attach it to the Nomad 5, which is a solar panel. It takes a while to charge this guy up. You gotta have good sun for those panels. If you haven't seen this company, look it up. This is just like a cheapo Amazon solar power bank. I remember when they first came out, like they hadn't, like, for some reason this was very cheap. And then now if you want to buy something like this, it's really expensive. But this works great. I can have this for 3 days. It'll charge my phone every night. Better than I thought. Oh, look at that. Still full charge. Come on. This right here is from Puma Knives. It's called the Hunter's Companion. It's a very nice knife. Really like this knife. I generally don't carry it with me when I hike around. I like this specifically for deboning. I find that it really does a good job at that. But it's just a good knife in general. I should carry it. It's just heavy, right? And I think about weight, especially if I'm hiking all day. Like, my pack's already 25 pounds, right? So yeah, But this is a great knife, the Hunter's Companion by Puma. It's made in Germany, handmade. We got snow. It's stormy. Wonder how much it's gonna snow. Okay, so I moved spots. I was in the tree stand and I just decided to move. But I came out of the tree stand and there was tracks over top of my tracks this morning, heading straight towards basically the tree stand. And then as soon as it hit a certain point, it just button hooked. It either caught wind of, got my scent or something. I don't really know. So it's about midday now. I just lightened up the pack and shed a layer up top, and I'm gonna go still hunt. I'm just gonna hike around. I need to find sign. That one track, the way it went up, just didn't seem like it was a whitetail. It seemed like it was a mule deer, but I could be wrong. Anyways, I'm gonna drop down to the drainage here, and I'm gonna hike along it, see if I can find some tracks here. Looks like the snow's coming in. I think I'm about to get hammered by snow, unfortunately. I'll glass until I just can't see. And then, once it's just ripping down, then I'll have to pick up shop. I'm back in the spot that I was in before last weekend. The first time I was here in October, in the spot where I got that buck on camera. So maybe. It's not ideal when you spook like 3 muleys in the whitetail spot. Just off my guard and off my game. I don't really feel very well right now, so it's just kind of moseying on. 2 whitetail, probably at about 50. That's too bad. They were just both bedded here. It's kind of interesting. It's different than a muley, that's for sure. Muley's gonna bed up higher where they can see, on like, you know, up above something where they feel secure, steeper terrain. These things just bed straight in this timber, like right on the edge of this opening. Alright, well, I'm gonna move my way down here. Hopefully come across something else. Found someone's blind. Blinded by the blind. Okay, that's a wrap for this weekend. Gotta get home. But I'll wrap up this whole whitetail bow thing in a different spot. Just more exploratory. So, yeah. I got something special for the end of the month, so gotta stay tuned for that for sure. Yeah. Well, we got a bit of a situation. The old muffler fell off. Oh yeah. Well, the old muffler's gone. She's nice and warm. Use her as a little heater. Good God. Oh yeah, threw the old tie wire on there. She's good as new. Okay, back in Region 8 this weekend. So, really hoping that we could make something happen, or at least come across a nice new spot. I'll be honest, I haven't seen this many tracks crossing the road in a long time. So, I'm kind of excited. And there's been barely anybody up here, you can tell, within the last month. So, I'm just gonna hike around and look for some tracks. I've been out for probably about 2.5 hours now. It's about 10, and I'm seeing quite a bit of sign. I'm thinking they're whitetail. They seem like whitetail. So, I mean, fingers crossed that I just see a deer. It would be nice to just get a glimpse and be like, oh yeah, that's a whitetail, or something like that, right? I just noticed a little bit of wolf sign too back there, but not much. Just like, looked like 2 wolves like cruising this drainage. So I'm gonna go up on this side now, see what I find. This is the side I initially e-scouted, but then I decided to drop into this drainage right when I got here because I was like, oh, there's a bunch of tracks going into here. So I was like, all right, let's do that. But now I'm about to jump into the spot that I've scouted, and I'm pretty sure this is the reason why there's whitetails, right? Like, you pick certain vegetation when you e-scout. You're looking for deciduous trees. That's what I do. I look for deciduous trees. Like, if I'm scouting for whitetail, deciduous trees, not abrupt, like not super steep, not bluffy, some more rolly country where the trails, where the drainage is gonna be. Like, those game trails are always on those drainages. It doesn't matter. There's always a game trail on a drainage, pretty much. If you're in an area where there's whitetail, then typically those whitetail are going to use that drainage to cruise. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. That's the basis of my weekend. Just trying new spots and e-scouting for them. It's good practice for e-scouting as well, right? Like, if you can pick a spot, go to it, and you see a few deer in it, like you see some whitetail and you find a bunch of sign, then you know you're doing the right thing. You know you're e-scouting properly. I think that's something to think about, right? Like, you could look at a spot and you could be like, oh, this looks so awesome. And then you go to it and you're like, there's nothing here, right? Like, that's happened to me many times, right? And you kind of go through that, and that's how you kind of become better at e-scouting, I find. That's for me. That's personal, how I have grown through it. So, I'm going to go and hoof it up this hill and find a few little, hopefully patches of aspens. This is so nice in here. This is the spot. This is the type unfortunately I gotta go. Tomorrow I'm gonna jump over to another spot as well. I'm venturing around, checking it out. This is great in here. I did also come across 3 tree stands though. So, oh, that sucks. You know, just gets hammered by people. Must. But other than that though, this spot is really good. Like, there's a lot of sign in here compared to what I'm used to. There's a lot of sign. Maybe I'll set up some cams in here. Alright, I've just been hiking for a little bit. Definitely in mule deer country, but I've seen whitetails in here. Another one of those situations. But check these beds out. I love the contrast of these mossed up fir trees. Well, finally I've seen something. I just spooked a mule deer. Alright, YouTube, that's a wrap for the whitetails. I tell you what, I gotta come better prepared next season. Have a spot locked down, 3 blinds out, 20 cameras. No, not quite. But yeah, I'm gonna put a bunch of cameras out in a spot, get out in the spring, throw them out, throw down a blind in the spring so that it's there year round. That's a good one. I like that. I don't really care if it gets stolen. It'll be a cheapo. But yeah, maybe make a blind somewhere. You know, just little things. Anyways, Region 8 is done for the season, which is always a sad thing. I like Region 8. We got one more hunt this season. One more. We're actually gonna stay a few days for that hunt. So I know every hunt this year has been just a weekend warrior thing, but note this one's gonna be a few days, and we're gonna put everything into it. So hopefully we come out with a little bit of success. All right.